Step inside the silence of a bedroom that has turned into a psychological morgue, where the air is thick with things left unsaid and touches that never happen. You are standing at the edge of a cliff, looking down into the wreckage of a relationship that used to thrive on a fake heat, but now, the fire is dead. For years, you believed that closeness was a way to bond, but the narcissist saw it as a way to control your nervous system and harvest your light. Today, we are opening the door to the frozen zone, that painful, hollow space that exists when the physical supply line is finally cut. This isn't just about a dry spell, it is about the total collapse of the narcissist's most effective weapon against your soul. Have you noticed how the atmosphere changes when you finally stop offering your body as a sacrifice for their emotional stability? It's as if the mask they've been wearing for years starts to melt, revealing the cold, mechanical predator underneath. The narcissist doesn't handle rejection well because they don't see you as a human with feelings. They see you as a resource that has suddenly gone on strike. They are confused, then they are angry, and then they become something truly terrifying. The big haunting question we are facing is this: what happens to a predator when they can no longer plug in to their primary source? The answer is a slow-motion car crash of the ego that will leave you breathless. Imagine a thief who has been picking your pocket every single day, only to realize one morning that you've entered your pockets and sewn them shut. That is the narcissist in the bedroom when the intimacy dies. They don't miss the closeness because they never felt it. They miss the dominance that came with owning your most private moments. For them, sex was a tool to dump their internal shame into your clean vessel, leaving you feeling heavy while they walked away light as air. When you stop the transfer, they are forced to carry their own rot, and that is a weight their fragile ego simply cannot sustain for very long. This is the beginning of a very painful transition for both of you. You might be feeling a strange mix of guilt and relief, wondering if you are the bad guy for withholding your affection from someone who treats you like an option. But look closer at the reality of your situation. You didn't stop because you wanted to be mean. You stopped because your soul finally went into survival mode. You realized that every time you said yes to them, you were saying no to your own dignity. The narcissist senses this shift in your frequency immediately. They know that if they can't have your body, they are losing their grip on your mind. This is where the psychological warfare shifts from the bedroom to the rest of your life, and the tactics become much more desperate. This cinematic breakdown of a dying relationship reveals the secret knowledge that the narcissist is terrified you will discover. They are actually a starving ghost. Without the constant validation of your surrender, they start to fade into the background. They need your reaction to feel real, and when you become a gray rock in the sheets, they feel as though they are disappearing. This leads to a period of narcissistic panic that manifests as intense pouting, explosive rage, or a sudden, frantic search for a new victim. You are witnessing the death of a delusion, and the pain you feel is the snapping of the trauma bond that has kept you enslaved for far too long. Most people think that stopping sex will make the narcissist try harder to love you, but the blunt truth is that it usually makes them try harder to destroy you. They view your boundaries as an act of war. They will start withholding other things, money, conversation, kindness, or basic respect, as a way to punish you for your rebellion. They want to make the price of saying no so high that you eventually crawl back to them just to stop the bleeding. This is the painful next step that no one warns you about. It is a systematic effort to break your spirit and remind you that, in their eyes, you are property, not a person with a voice. Think of the narcissist as a professional con artist whose primary trick has been exposed. They use the bedroom as a stage for their greatest lover performance, but now that the audience has stopped clapping, they don't know who they are. They are pacing the house like a caged animal, looking for a way to provoke a response from you. Any response will do: tears, anger, or even a fight. They just need to know that they can still impact you. If you stay silent and detached, they experience a narcissistic injury that feels like a physical wound. They are bleeding ego juice, and they will blame you for the mess they are making of their own life. The big haunting question that keeps you trapped is, can we ever go back to the way it was? The answer is a cold, hard no. The way it was a lie built on your compliance and their manipulation. When the intimacy stops, the lie dies. You are finally seeing the smallness of the person you once thought was a giant. You see the petty jealousy, the childish need for attention, and the absolute lack of empathy. This clarity is the most painful part of the process because it forces you to mourn a person who never really existed. You are grieving a hologram, while the person who projected it is trying to light your house on fire from the inside. Do not click away, because we are about to enter the psychological breakdown of the narcissist's internal vacuum. We are going to expose the hidden motives behind their sudden coldness, and why they will use your sexual strike as a reason to cheat openly. This is the part where the predator shows their teeth. You need to be prepared for the final discard or the malignant hoover that follows the death of intimacy. This is psychological warfare, and the only way to win is to realize that the game was rigged from the start. You are not losing a lover, you are gaining your autonomy back from a soul-sucking parasite. This first chapter is your awakening to the reality of the bedroom morgue. The pain you feel is the birth pains of your new, sovereign self. The narcissist is terrified of the person you are becoming, a person who cannot be bought with a fake kiss or a hollow promise. As we move into the breakdown, remember that your high vibration is your shield. The narcissist wants to drag you down into their low-frequency mud so they can feel superior again. But you are standing tall, you are observing, and you are finally ready to see the monster for what it really is. The shift in power is absolute, and it starts with your refusal to be a source. To understand the psychological breakdown of the narcissist during this Cold War, you must look into the empty box of their internal identity. A narcissist is a person whose self is a collection of stolen traits and mirrors. They do not have an internal reactor to generate their own warmth or worth. They are a biological machine that needs constant external feedback to prove they are alive. When you stop having sex with them, you are unplugging the machine. The narcissist experiences a psychic shock that feels like being buried alive in their own emptiness. They are starving for the energy of your surrender, and without it, they begin to disintegrate. Metaphorically, the narcissist is a shadow figure trying to capture a sunbeam in a jar. Your intimacy was the sunbeam that gave their dark world a bit of color. But because they are made of shadows, they can never truly hold the light. They can only consume it. When you withdraw, they are left in total darkness. This is why they become so manic and obsessive. They aren't missing you, they are missing the glow you provided to their false persona. They are frequency parasites whose signal has just been jammed by your new boundaries. They are gasping for the oxygen of your attention, and they will turn to secondary supply immediately. Their hidden motive for the sexual strike on their end is often punitive withholding. If they are the one who stopped, they are doing it to make you feel undesirable and inadequate. They want to see you beg for their touch so they can reject you and feel a surge of omnipotent power. It is a malignant power play designed to keep you in a state of anxious attachment. They want you to believe that your value is dependent on their desire. By making the bedroom a no-fly zone, they are grooming you to be more submissive in other areas of the relationship. They are starving the host to make the prey more manageable. We must discuss the narcissistic void as a psychic hunger. A narcissist experiences hunger as anger. They feel entitled to your body as if it were a natural resource they discovered. When you say no, it's as if a mountain told a miner they couldn't dig for gold anymore. The miner doesn't respect the mountain, they just want the gold. This objectification is why they can be so clinical and cold after intimacy. They don't want a connection, they want a commodity. When the commodity is withdrawn, they feel defrauded. This leads to a narcissistic injury that will eventually result in a rage that is both silent and explosive. Imagine a mirror that has been painted black. That is what you become to the narcissist when you stop the intimacy. They look at you and they no longer see a God image of themselves. They see a wall. This lack of reflection is lethal to their ego. They start to feel transparent and small. To stop this feeling, they will project their ugliness onto you. They will tell you that you are the one with the problem, that you are cold, or that you are abusive. They are vomiting their internal shame onto you because they can no longer dump it through the physical act. You are being targeted for spiritual disposal. Their internal chaos is a static noise of self-loathing that they manage through sexual conquest. Every time they get you to surrender, they silence the voices in their head for a few hours. When the sex stops, the voices return with a vengeance. They are haunted by the fact that they are unoriginal and hollow. To escape this, they will devalue you in their mind to make the loss feel small. They tell themselves, "I didn't want them anyway. They were never that good." This sour grapes defense is a childish attempt to protect their grandiosity from the brutal reality of their dependency on your energy. Let's look at the metaphor of the vampire again. A narcissist is a spiritual vampire who needs the blood of your empathy. Your sexual surrender was the purest grade of blood available. Without it, they start to age psychologically. They look tired, gray, and haggard. They are addicted to the high of conquering. When the conquest is over, they crash. This withdrawal leads to reckless behavior. They will cheat with low-grade supply just to stop the shaking. They are bottom feeders who will eat anything just to avoid looking at the mirror of their own nothingness. They are pathetic junkies of the soul. The narcissist is a frequency parasite who jams your signal. They conditioned you to believe that your only purpose was to serve the king or queen. Now that you've reclaimed your frequency, they are disconnected from the world. They feel like they are drifting into space without a tether. This annihilation anxiety is what drives their malignant Hoover attempts. They will beg, cry, or promise change just to get back in. But it's not because they love you, it's because they need a host. They are dying of cold and you are the only fire in their frozen universe. They are predators posing as beggars. There is also the projective identification of their own disgust. Deep down, the narcissist finds human vulnerability to be repulsive. They despise you for loving them, and they despise themselves for needing you. This loop of hate is the atmosphere of the relationship. When the sex stops, the hate becomes visible. They no longer have to pretend to like you to get the supply. The mask drops completely, and you see the cold sneer of a person who views you as an obstacle. They are relieved to stop performing, but they are terrified to stop consuming. They are trapped in their own web. This psychological breakdown reveals that the narcissist is a broken machine that fails the moment the fuel is withdrawn. The terrible thing is that they believe they are the one in control, while they are actually totally dependent on your empathy. As we move into the dramatic turning point, you will see what happens when the empath finally sees the machine. You are going to see the power shift from the parasite to the sovereign soul. The plot twist is that the pain you feel is the armor of your new life being forged. You are about to become untouchable, and the narcissist is about to become irrelevant. The dramatic turning point arrives with a silent snap that echoes through the chamber of your heart. It's the moment you look at the narcissist, who is currently pouting or withholding, and you realize, I don't care anymore. This is the psychological plot twist that the predator never saw coming. They thought their silence would break you, but instead, it bred you. It gave you the space to wake up. You are no longer searching for their approval in the sheets. You have found your own approval in the quiet. The power snatches back into your center, and the narcissist senses the change instantly. Watch the narcissist's panic when their primary weapon, the silent treatment, becomes your sanctuary. They expected you to cry, to apologize, or to beg for intimacy. When you accept the coldness with a calm smile, the narcissist experiences a nuclear system failure. They are gasping for the air of your drama, but the room is vacuum sealed. They realize they have lost the remote control to your nervous system. They ramp up the hostility, but it bounces off your indifference like rubber bullets. The hunter has just realized that the prey is now a stone statue. This is the moment of internal sovereign realignment. You realize that their lack of desire for you was a gift from the universe. It was the wall that protected you from further contamination. You stop viewing yourself as undesirable and start viewing yourself as sacred. You are no longer a source to be mined, you are a temple that has closed its doors to the unworthy. The narcissist sees this radiance returning to your face and it triggers their envy. They want to destroy the peace they can't steal. They start sabotaging your work, your friends, or your sanity to get a reaction. Detail the narcissist's desperate pivot. When sexual withholding doesn't work to control you, they will pivot to financial abuse or triangulation. They will start talking about how attractive someone else is, or they will disappear for hours to trigger your jealousy. This is guerrilla warfare of the ego. They are frantically trying to find a new hook. But the empath has graduated. You see the pattern. You label the tactic in real time. Oh, he's trying to make me jealous. Oh, she's trying to shame me. By naming the demon, you strip its power. You are observing the animal in the cage. The plot twist deepens. The silence in the bedroom becomes the clarifying light in the living room. You start noticing every other lie, every other manipulation, and every other hollow promise. The fog is evaporating. The narcissist sense this clarity and they realize the game is up. They will attempt a hysterical hoover, a sudden, manic burst of fake affection and promises of change. They might even try to have sex with you again, as a last resort to rehook the trauma bond. But the empath is impenetrable. You don't buy the lie. You don't open the door. You are finished. They attempt a malignant discard before you can discard them. To save face, they will announce that the relationship is dead because you are the problem. They will say you are cold, you are selfish, or you have changed. This is a projection of their own internal failure. They are trying to rewrite the history so they can be the victim in the next relationship. But you are relieved. You accept the discard like a winning lottery ticket. You watch them walk out and you feel the weight of 1,000 suns lifting from your shoulders. The executioner has freed the prisoner. Show the shift in the energetic signature of the house. The moment the narcissist stops feeding on you, it becomes clear. You start inhabiting your own body again. You breathe deeper. You sleep better. You realize that the pain you were terrified of was actually just withdrawal from a toxic drug. Now that the drug is gone, the recovery begins. The narcissist is pacing the perimeter, screaming to anyone who will listen that you are a monster, but you are silent. Your silence is the final sentence in their trial. You have found your peace in the ruins. Psychological shift. You realize that the narcissist was never the one, they were the dark teacher. They were the final boss you had to defeat to become yourself. The bedroom morgue was the incubator for your sovereignty. You no longer fear being alone. You realize that being alone is infinite compared to being with a narcissist. You feel a surge of internal heat that is pure and self-generated. You have found the internal fountain. The narcissist is cursed to search for supply forever, while you are sustained by your own truth. You are radiant. This is the moment of total detachment. You look at the old bed and you don't see the trauma, you see a place to rest. You have sanctified the space. The narcissist is irrelevant. They are a static noise on a faded radio station. You have changed the frequency. The turning point is absolute. You are inhabiting your own life with an intensity that is terrifying to the weak. You are steady. You are solid. You are home. The power shift is complete. You are the master now. The narcissist is just a distant memory of a bad movie. You have reclaimed the sacred. As we move into the collapse, remember, the narcissist depends on your reaction to feel solid. By withdrawing your desire and your drama, you have deleted their existence in your universe. They are going to panic. They are going to burn their own world down to get your attention. But you are no longer the firefighter. You are watching the fire from the high ground, safe in your sovereignty. We are about to witness the total internal collapse of the abuser as they realize that the empath they used has finally, irrevocably, reclaimed their soul. The end is brutal. Now we enter the narcissistic mortification, the total psychic implosion of the predator. When the empath stops participating in the intimacy games, the narcissist loses their anchor to the human world. They start to devolve into their true state of chaos and paranoia. You will see them unravel in real time. Their lies become sloppy. Their mask is cracking. They are losing their grip on reality because you were the reality they were leaning on. They are choking on the ash of their own failed manipulations. They are exposed to the cold light of truth. Their social consequences are swift and public. As the recovered empath moves through the world with quiet dignity and icy indifference, the narcissist smear campaign starts to stink. People start seeing the pattern of hollow relationships and burned bridges they leave behind. You are the witness who survived the autopsy of the bedroom. The narcissist is losing their status as the alpha. They are exposed as the energy predator who needs a reaction to feel real. They are isolated in the toxic wasteland they designed for you. They are finished. The internal panic of the narcissist becomes a manic screaming for new skin. They scramble to find someone else to electrocute, someone else to hook with their false charm. But they are desperate. They are transparent. Their predatory aura is foul and visible to everyone who has healed their own signal. They are failing at their conquests. They are starving for the high-grade supply your empathy used to provide, but the bank of your soul is permanently closed. They are choking on the dust of their own internal void. They are fading into nothingness. Watch the harsh truth of their new life. They look old. They look gray. They look diminished. The energy they stole from you has expired, and they have no internal battery to generate more. They are cursed to repeat the same loop with lesser and lesser souls until they draw their last breath. They are trapped in a body that is closing down, haunted by the memory of the Owen who got away and found the sun. They are obsessed with the fact that you don't care. Their rage is turning inward, eating the last of their humanity. The tone is brutally cold and analytical. The narcissist is a parasite that underestimated the sovereignty of the empath. By moving on physically and spiritually, you have executed the predator. They are walking dead, carrying the corpse of their own ego. They hate you for surviving their sexual warfare. They hate you for being whole in a world they told you was a killing flaw. Every breath of peace you take is a poison to their delusion. They are collapsing into the center of their own nothingness. The final discard was yours, and it was lethal. Internal panic leads to pathological stalking of your happiness. They analyze your every post, searching for a sign of pain, a sign of return. But they find nothing but strength. This strength is traumatic to the narcissist. It debunks their God complex. It proves they are just a glitch in your evolution. They are screaming from the shadows, trying to cast a spell that your nervous system no longer decodes. They are irrelevant. This irrelevance is the final consequence of their evil. They wanted to be remembered as a god, but they will be forgotten as a malfunction. The social discard concludes with the final isolation. The flying monkeys have woken up. The family has distanced themselves. The narcissist is left alone with the ghost of the ONE they couldn't destroy. This isolation is the mirror they feared their whole life. In the silence, they are forced to hear the echoes of their own lies. They are obsessed with you because you are the only thing that feels real in their world of shadows. But you are a memory they can't command. They are stroking the air where you used to be. They are nothing. Brutally truthful analysis. The narcissist failed because they miscalculated the resilience of the spirit. They thought they could starve the empath, but they only forced the empath to hibernate and evolve. Once you wake up and retain your energy, you are invisible to their manipulation. The narcissist is a shadow that cannot exist in the presence of your internal truth. They are disintegrating. The sexual strike was your incubation phase, and you have emerging with new skin. You have inverted the trauma into power. The narcissist is a broken tool. Intensify the collapse. You watch their disintegration with a sense of sacred justice. You don't feel vengeance, you feel order. You see that the world is actually safe because you are the one who defines your reality. The narcissist's rage is a distant noise that no longer reaches your frequency. You are healing at a speed they cannot match. You are living at a depth they cannot reach. The collapse is the final closing of the narrative. The monster is dead, and the village is celebrating. The end is brutal and permanent. As we enter the final truth, look at the ruin of the abuser and realize you are the final truth. The pain was just the shell of your evolution. You have found the key. You have opened the door. You have walked into the world and the world recognized you. The final truth is cinematic, empowering, and saturated with radiance. The collapse is complete. The sunrise is internal. You are free to build a world where predators are nothing but ghosts in the distance. You are the sovereign. Your no was the beginning of everything. We have reached the final truth, the cinematic closing where the hooks of the past are melted by the heat of your presence. The final truth is this: the pain of stopping the intimacy was not the end of you, it was the end of the parasite. You don't feel empty because you are full of your own soul. You have realized that the narcissist was never your twin flame, they were your exterminator who accidentally ignited your true fire. You have used the ash to fertilize your garden. You are the master of your own energy. You are clean. Emotional closure comes from the absolute knowledge that the narcissist never existed as the person you loved. You were in love with a reflection of your own empathy. Today, you have taken the reflection back. You are closing the case file on the predator. You have realized that their hate was a badge of honor. A being of darkness will always hate the sun. You accept the hate as proof of your magnificence. You are validating yourself by the fact that you can breathe, you can dream, and you can love again. The verdict is innocent and sovereign. Healing is the cinematic slow burn of presence. It is the feeling of the ground under your feet, the sound of your own voice telling the truth, and the sight of a future that is unwritten and safe. You are reprogramming your nervous system to expect beauty and respect. You are learning that empathy is a superpower, not a weakness. You are finding your soul. You are building a life that is so authentic and so powerful that the memory of the narcissist feels like a B-movie you watched in another lifetime. You are the director. Empowerment is the quiet strength of the empath who refused to stay broken. You have seen the bottom of the abyss and you brought back the light. You are unshakable. The narcissist's screams from the shadows are just background noise in the symphony of your life. You have changed the frequency. You are tuned in to the voice of the universe, to the pulse of the earth, and to the truth of your own value. You have reclaimed your power, and you are using it to heal the world. You are a warrior of the light. You are whole. The final line is being written in the stars. You are part of a global awakening of sovereign empaths who are refusing to be supply. We are collective strength. We are spiritually invincible. The narcissist's obsession with your body was the last stand of a dying ghost. The age of the predator is ending. The age of the authentic is beginning. You are a pioneer of the soul. Your voice is a siren of truth for others who are still in the shadows. You are calling them home to themselves. The bunker is open. Imagine the final scene. You are standing on a beach at sunrise. The waves are washing away the last footprints of the abuser's shadows. Below you, the dark valley of the trauma is dissolving in the light. Above you, the sky is exploding with colors you can finally see again. You are complete. You are indifferent. The narcissist is a name you can barely remember, a face you no longer recognize. You breathe in the clean air of sovereignty, and you never look back. You are finally free of the parasite's grip. The narcissist is now a distant memory, stalking the ruins of a life they burnt. They are screaming at the wind, begging the dust to become the mirror again. But the mirror is gone. You are flesh and blood, light and fire, moving at the speed of joy. You have found your peace. You have found your tribe. You have found your soul. The pain of the survivor was the cocoon of the butterfly. The credits are rolling. The theater is empty. The light is permanent. The war is over. The narcissist tried to kill the empath because they were terrified of your power. They wanted to keep you as their internal battery, but the battery exploded into a sun. You are magnificent. You are unstoppable. You have won the game by walking off the field. You have ascended beyond the manipulation. You are the truth. You are the way. You are the life. The pain was the fog, and you are the sun. The fog has no choice but to vanish in your radiance. Reclaim your space. Reclaim your voice. Reclaim your right to walk the earth with confidence and glory. The sexual killer, the psychological parasite, and the emotional arsonist have no power in this light. You are generating your own frequency now, and it is a frequency of freedom, justice, and radiance. Use it to warm your own life. Use it to create beauty. Use it to love deeply with others who vibrate at your level. You are a generator of universal light, and the grid is restored. The narcissist thinks that stopping the sex is the ultimate tragedy, but for the empath, it is the exact moment the chains fall off and the soul finally begins to sing its own song again. Go forth and live with the intensity that was meant to be yours all along. The morgue is closed, the light is back, and you are finally, irrevocably free.